Alex adjusted his helmet visor and scanned the horizon. The planet Zerethus 7 stretched before him in shades of violet and silver, its jagged mountains glowing faintly under the twin suns. He had come here on a routine exploration mission, tasked with mapping the uncharted world. The scanners showed no immediate life signs, only faint energy readings from a distant city buried among crystalline cliffs. He walked carefully along the rocky surface, each step kicking up tiny dust clouds that shimmered in the sunlight. The air was breathable, but it had a metallic tang that made him swallow hard. Everything here seemed alive, yet strangely quiet. Alex felt a shiver of excitement. He had explored many planets before, but Zerethus 7 had an energy unlike anything he had experienced. As he approached the glowing city, a sudden tremor shook the ground. Rocks tumbled down the cliffs, and Alex stumbled, gripping his exploration staff. From the shadows between the crystalline towers, strange shapes emerged. They were small mechanical creatures hovering in the air, their eyes glowing red. They moved with precision like tiny soldiers programmed for attack. Before Alex could react, they lunged toward him. He dodged and rolled, narrowly avoiding sharp, metal claws. His heart raced. The creatures were fast and relentless, circling him with synchronized precision. He activated a small energy shield, the force field flickering as it deflected their strikes. Suddenly, a loud, resonant cry echoed through the city. The mechanical creatures froze, then scattered in all directions as if repelled by an invisible force. Alex squinted, trying to locate the source. A figure emerged from the shadows, a tall, regal being, moving gracefully despite its injuries. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver, and her eyes glowed a soft, calming light. Long, iridescent wings hung from her back, folded carefully as if she had lost the strength to fly. She was unlike anything Alex had ever seen. The figure collapsed, to her knees, breathing heavily. Alex ran to her side instinctively. "Are you hurt?" he asked, his voice echoing strangely in the alien city. The being nodded weakly. "Yes, but it is manageable," she whispered, her voice musical yet strained. Her eyes locked onto his, and for a brief moment, Alex felt a connection that was deeper than anything he had experienced. He looked around and saw the wounds on her wings and arms, cuts that glowed faintly, as if the energy within her body was leaking. "I can help," Alex said. He quickly set down his gear and activated his portable medical kit. The being studied him quietly. "You are human," she said slowly, almost in wonder. "I did not expect—" Her voice trailed off. Alex opened the kit and began cleaning, her wounds carefully using antiseptic gel and soft bandages. She flinched occasionally, but mostly she remained still, watching him work. Every movement felt purposeful, careful, and precise. "You are unusual," she said softly, her glowing eyes never leaving his. Alex paused, curious. "I could say the same about you," he replied. "I've never seen anyone like you before." "What? Who are you?" She inhaled slowly. "I am Lyra, Queen of the Zerathians, my people. We are guardians of knowledge, of peace. And now, I am wounded. And you are here." Alex felt a strange mixture of awe and fear. He had read about alien civilizations, but never encountered one so majestic, so alive. "You need more help," he said. "I can get you to a safe place." Lyra's wings trembled slightly, and she looked up at him with those luminous eyes. No time. The city is not safe. You must trust me. Stay with me. Just for now." Alex nodded, carefully helping her to stand. Her weight was surprisingly light, but her balance was delicate. Together, they moved toward a shaded alcove between two crystalline towers. Alex set her down gently and continued tending her wounds, cleaning debris and stitching minor cuts. Then, she did something unexpected. She reached out, lightly touching his hand with one glowing finger. "You are the chosen one," she whispered. Barely audible, Alex froze, his heart skipping a beat. Chosen one? Me? She nodded weakly. Yes, you possess the qualities. My people need the qualities no other can offer. Human courage, human creativity. You are the hope. Her words faded as she struggled to breathe. Alex didn't know what to say. He had always thought of himself as an ordinary explorer, not a hero, but there was sincerity in her gaze, a quiet strength that made him believe her words even if just a little. He finished tending her wounds and looked around. The city was eerily quiet again, the only sound a faint hum of energy from the crystalline towers. Lyra, we need to move somewhere safer. Can you walk? She nodded faintly, still weak, but determined. Yes, I will try. With you. Alex helped her to her feet, supporting her carefully as they began moving through the alien streets. The city seemed abandoned, but energy readings from his scanner suggested otherwise. There were still active life forms, somewhere in the shadows. He didn't know if they were hostile, but he couldn't risk staying in one place. As they walked, Lyra's eyes occasionally flicked to his, as if she were studying him as much as he was studying her. You must understand. Human qualities. They are rare, even among stars. Your kind, your mind, your heart. Alex felt a warmth spread through his chest. He had always thought humans were ordinary, even fragile. Yet, hearing this from an alien queen, injured, majestic, and wise, he felt an unfamiliar pride, coupled with a deep responsibility he did not yet fully understand. They reached the edge of the city, where crystalline cliffs rose sharply into the sky. Beyond, the landscape glowed with strange lights and flowing energy rivers. Alex paused, looking out at the alien world. He felt a strange mixture of fear, excitement, and purpose. Where do we go now? He asked. Lyra placed a glowing hand on his shoulder. We must reach my people, the Zerathians. Only there. Can you understand? What must be done? You are the chosen one. Alex swallowed hard and nodded. He didn't fully understand what she meant, but he felt it deep in his bones. This was only the beginning. The universe was bigger than he had ever imagined, and he, a single human, had a role to play that could change everything. Together, they stepped forward into the glowing landscape, leaving the half-ruined city behind, moving toward an unknown future. And in that moment, Alex realized, the adventure he had always dreamed of was no longer a dream. It was real, and it was calling him forward. Alex led Lyra carefully through the glowing landscape. The rivers of energy that crisscrossed the planet shimmered in soft blues and greens, casting strange reflections on their path. Alex had never seen anything like it. Every step felt as though the ground beneath them hummed with life, responding to their presence. Lyra walked beside him, leaning on his arm when the terrain became rough. Her injuries were healing slowly, but she remained determined to move on her own. Alex could see the strength in her eyes, a queen's resolve, and it made him feel both nervous and inspired. Where exactly are we going? Alex asked, trying to keep his voice calm despite the unease in his chest. Lyra glanced at him, her glowing eyes softening. To my people, the Zerathians, they dwell beyond the silver peaks. There, you will understand why you are the chosen one. Alex frowned. Chosen one? I still don't understand. I'm just an explorer. I'm not anyone special. Lyra's gaze met his. It is not what you think. Your kind, humans, possess qualities rare among the stars. Courage, curiosity, creativity. You think ordinary, but your mind is unique. Only humans can do what must be done. Alex swallowed. He had always thought humans were small and fragile compared to the vast universe. But the words of this alien queen, they stirred something inside him. He wanted to believe her, even if he did not fully understand. As they walked, the landscape changed. The soft, glowing rivers gave way to jagged rocks and steep cliffs. The wind carried faint whispers as though the planet itself were alive and watching them. Lyra paused, raising a hand. There is danger," she said softly. Her eyes scanned the horizon. "Not all on this planet welcome us." Alex tightened his grip on her arm. "What kind of danger?" "Rogue drones. Sentries of a fallen Zerathian colony," she explained. "They see outsiders as threats. We must avoid them." Alex nodded. He had faced dangers before, but nothing like this. They moved carefully, sticking to shadowed paths and using the cliffs as cover. Despite the danger, Lyra never let fear show. In her expression, she walked with grace, and Alex found himself learning from her how to move quietly, how to sense danger before it arrived. After several hours, they reached a plateau overlooking a valley filled with glowing crystal formations. Alex stopped to catch his breath. "It's beautiful," he whispered. The valley sparkled like a river of stars frozen in time. Lyra smiled faintly. "Yes, it is, but beauty can hide peril. We must not linger." They descended into the valley, careful not to make noise. Alex noticed creatures in the distance, tall, elegant beings with translucent wings. They observed Alex and Lyra but did not approach. Alex realized that these were Zerathians, but not the ones Lyra spoke of. These were neutral observers, cautious of strangers. As they continued, Alex could feel a growing connection with Lyra. He noticed the way she reacted to the environment, how she seemed to sense energy currents, and how she trusted him to guide her when needed. It was a partnership, and Alex felt a sense of purpose he had never felt before. "Alex," Lyra said quietly as they rested near a crystal outcropping, "you have shown patience, care, and courage. These qualities are what make you human and special. You are learning quickly." Alex looked at her, feeling a strange warmth in his chest. "I'm trying. I just want to help you, Lyra. I don't understand everything, but I want to do what's right." She nodded, her eyes glowing brighter for a moment. "That is why you are the chosen one. My people need someone, not just brave, but willing to act with heart. You can be that person." For a moment they sat in silence, watching the alien sun dip behind jagged cliffs. Alex thought about what she had said. Being the chosen one sounded like a great responsibility, almost too great for him, but the thought of helping Lyra and her people gave him strength. Suddenly, a low hum filled the valley. Alex's scanners beeped urgently. "Lyra, something's coming." She stood immediately, her glowing eyes narrowing. "Yes, the rogue drones. They have found us." Alex's heart raced. He had seen these drones before, small, fast, and dangerous. But now there were dozens, moving with deadly precision. They hovered above the crystals, their red lights scanning for movement. "Stay close," Lyra whispered. "We must move through the energy currents. They cannot follow us there." Alex nodded and they ran. The energy currents flowed like rivers of light, and Alex could feel their power tingling through his suit. He followed Lyra's lead, jumping from crystal to crystal, ducking under glowing arches and avoiding the scanning drones. At one point, Alex stumbled. A drone spotted him and surged forward. Lyra reacted instantly, extending a shimmering energy field from her wings. The drone crashed into it and was destroyed in a burst of sparks. Alex stared in awe. You can do that?" he asked, breathing heavily. Lyra nodded, though her strength was clearly limited by her injuries. "Yes, but only enough to protect, not enough for all threats. We must keep moving." They reached a narrow tunnel that led deeper into the valley. The drones could not enter. The energy currents blocked them. Alex and Lyra slipped inside, panting but safe for the moment. Inside the tunnel, Lyra finally allowed herself to lean on Alex fully. "You are stronger than I thought," she said softly. "Not just in body, but in mind and spirit. You are learning what it means to be the chosen one." Alex smiled, a little embarrassed. "I'm just trying to keep up with you." "No," Lyra replied gently. "You are more. Humans, they adapt. They see possibilities others cannot. That is why you are needed. That is why I trust you." For the first time since they met, Alex felt a deep sense of belonging. He was an ordinary human, yes, but here, on this strange planet, beside an alien queen, he felt extraordinary. His courage, his mind, and his heart were being tested, and so far he was rising to the challenge. As they rested, Lyra's hand brushed against his arm. The glow from her skin warmed him, and Alex felt a strange calm. They did not need words. Their bond had begun, human and alien, working together, trusting each other. Outside the tunnel, the valley shimmered with alien light. Somewhere beyond, the peaks lay the Zerathian capital, and the journey ahead promised more challenges, danger, mystery, and perhaps the answers Alex sought. For now, though, he simply focused on one thing, staying by Lyra's side and helping her survive. Whatever the universe had planned for him, he would face it, because now he understood. Being the chosen one was not about power. It was about courage, heart, and the willingness to act when others could not. And for the first time, Alex felt ready. Alex and Lyra moved cautiously through the glowing valley. The energy rivers shifted and pulsed beneath their feet, casting strange reflections that danced across the walls of the cliffs. Ahead, the tunnel opened into a wide chamber filled with hovering platforms, floating crystals, and beams of light crisscrossing the space. "This is the trial chamber," Lyra said softly. Her wings fluttered slightly as she moved. "Every chosen one must face this trial before meeting the council. It tests courage, intelligence, and empathy. You must succeed." Alex swallowed hard. "Trial? I'm not sure I'm ready." Lyra's eyes glowed softly. "You are ready, if you trust yourself. Remember, it is not strength alone that matters. It is mind, heart, and spirit." The chamber shimmered, and a series of floating panels rose in front of Alex, each displaying shifting symbols he could not understand. He stepped closer, and one panel suddenly projected a holographic maze. The walls glowed faintly and the floor shifted beneath him. "This looks impossible," Alex muttered, stepping carefully onto the first platform. "You must see patterns where others see chaos," Lyra said. "Your human mind, your creativity, it is what will guide you." Alex focused, watching the lights and symbols. Slowly he noticed a pattern, a sequence in the colors of the walls, a rhythm in the shifting floors. He took a deep breath and stepped forward, moving carefully but decisively. Each choice felt risky, but he relied on his instincts and creativity to find the correct path. Hours seemed to pass, though only minutes may have gone by. Alex's concentration never wavered. Every time he made a mistake, the path reset. But he did not give up. Slowly the maze began to open, revealing a series of glowing crystals that formed a bridge to the next platform. Lyra watched quietly, her expression unreadable. "See? You think like a human, and that is your strength. You create solutions, where others see only barriers." Alex stepped onto the bridge, relieved but aware that this was only the beginning. Ahead, the chamber changed again. A low hum filled the air as a swirling energy field appeared, blocking their path. Within the field, creatures shimmered, shapes that shifted between light and shadow, moving with unpredictable patterns. "These are the guardians of empathy," Lyra explained. "You must understand them, not fight them. You must Help them feel calm. Help them trust you. Alex frowned. Help them? I've never done anything like this. Lyra's eyes met his. Trust yourself. You know what it feels like. To be afraid. To be unsure. That is your guide. Alex took a deep breath and stepped into the energy field. At first, the creatures swirled around him, confusing him, their forms changing constantly. But he remembered Lyra's words. He slowed his movements, made gentle gestures, and focused on remaining calm. He imagined extending kindness, patience, and understanding toward the creatures. Slowly, they began to mirror him. Their erratic movements softened, their glowing shapes settling into calm forms. Alex's heart leapt. He was guiding them, not with strength, but with empathy. The energy field shimmered and parted, revealing the next challenge. See? Lyra said softly. You do not dominate. You inspire. That is human strength. That is why you are the chosen one. Alex nodded, feeling a growing confidence. Each trial tested him in ways he had never imagined. The final test awaited, a zero-gravity chamber where he would need to navigate floating platforms and reach a central control crystal. The platform spun slowly, and the walls projected puzzles and alien symbols. Alex took a deep breath and entered the chamber. His first step sent him drifting toward the wall, but he adjusted, using handholds and shifting his weight carefully. He studied the symbols, noting patterns and rhythms, and began manipulating the platforms by pressing small panels that responded to his touch. Minutes passed, then hours, though time felt suspended. Alex's focus never wavered. He used his human creativity to see solutions the chamber did not present explicitly, combining logic with intuition. Slowly, the platforms aligned, and the central crystal rose before him. As he reached for it, a shadow swept across the chamber. A reflection of his own doubts, fears, and uncertainty formed, mirroring every failure he had ever experienced. Alex froze, heart pounding. You must face yourself. Lyra's voice echoed softly in the chamber. All your fears, all your doubts, you must accept them to succeed. Alex closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He remembered every mistake, every moment of fear, but instead of panicking, he acknowledged them. He forgave himself for past failures and focused on the present. When he opened his eyes, the shadow began to fade. With steady hands, he touched the crystal. Light surged through the chamber, and the platforms aligned perfectly. A deep hum resonated, filling the space. Alex had completed the trial. Lyra stepped forward, her wings glowing brightly. You see? You do not rely only on strength, or speed, or alien technology. You rely on your mind, your heart, your human qualities. That is why you are the chosen one. Alex exhaled, feeling a mix of relief, pride, and amazement. He had faced impossible challenges, but his courage, creativity, and empathy had carried him through. He looked at Lyra, who smiled softly. There is more ahead, she said. The council, they will want to see your abilities, to know that you can lead when the time comes. But this trial, it proves something essential. You are not just a human. You are a bridge between your world and mine. Alex felt a sense of purpose settle over him. For the first time, he understood what Lyra had meant when she called him the chosen one. It was not about power or glory. It was about qualities that mattered in the universe: courage, creativity, empathy, and the willingness to act when others could not. The chamber doors opened, and a path appeared, leading them out into the alien landscape once more. Lyra walked beside him, her trust and confidence in him evident in every step. Alex realized that the bond between them had grown stronger during the trial. They were no longer simply allies. They were partners, united by purpose and mutual respect. As they stepped into the light of the alien sun, Alex felt ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The universe was vast and full of unknowns, but he had faced a trial that tested him to the core, and he had succeeded. Lyra looked at him, her eyes glowing warmly. You are learning. Quickly. Soon. You will understand the full reason you are the chosen one. And when the time comes, the galaxy will need you. Alex nodded, feeling both the weight and the honor of her words. He was no longer just an explorer. He was a human, chosen for a purpose that reached far beyond himself, and he was determined not to fail. Together, they stepped forward, leaving the trial chamber behind, ready to face the next stage of their journey. The sky over the Zerathian Valley glowed with soft streaks of violet and gold as Alex and Lyra climbed the last slope toward the capital city. The Zerathian towers shimmered like giant crystals, casting prismatic light across the landscape. Alex could feel the energy of the place. It was alive, almost like it was breathing. Every pulse of light seemed to echo through his chest. This city, Alex whispered, awestruck. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Lyra smiled faintly, her wounds healing more with each step. The capital holds the wisdom of my people. Here, you will understand the danger we face, and why you are the chosen one. Alex's curiosity burned. He had survived trials, faced dangers, and helped Lyra, but he still did not fully understand what she meant. Why me? He asked. I'm just a human. There must be countless others who could do what I've done. Lyra's eyes glowed warmly. No, humans are unique. Your creativity, your courage, your heart, qualities my people admire, yet rarely see in other civilizations. And the threat we face, it can only be countered by one who thinks and feels as humans do. Alex frowned. A threat? Lyra's expression darkened. She lowered her voice. The void entity, a force of destruction, a rogue intelligence consuming star systems. My people have fought to contain it, but it adapts too quickly. Our technology alone cannot stop it. Only one like you can activate the celestial beacon. Only a human mind, unpredictable, creative, compassionate, can succeed. Alex felt a chill run through him. The void entity. It sounded like a cosmic predator, unstoppable and terrifying. The celestial beacon. What is it? He asked. It is a device of great power, created by my ancestors to protect the galaxy. It can repel the void entity, but it requires a human touch. Someone who can see possibilities beyond logic. Someone who can act with heart. That is why you are the chosen one. Alex's mind whirled. He had faced challenges, but this was larger than anything he had imagined. A galaxy-wide threat, and he, a single human, was expected to play a key role in stopping it. Lyra noticed his unease. She placed a glowing hand on his shoulder. Do not fear, Alex. You are not alone. I will guide you, and my people will help. But you're human. Qualities are essential. That is why I chose you. They entered the capital, its streets alive with luminous beings moving gracefully through the towers. Zerathians of all shapes and sizes observed Alex carefully, their curiosity clear, but none approached aggressively. Lyra led him to a central plaza where a council of elder Zerathians awaited. Alex's heart pounded. He had never met alien leaders before, let alone an entire council. They regarded him with solemn eyes, their expressions a mix of hope and concern. Lyra stepped forward, introducing him in her musical soft voice. This human, Alex, has faced the trial chamber. He has shown courage, creativity, and empathy. He is the chosen one who can help us confront the void entity. The council members exchanged glances, their shimmering forms reflecting light in every direction. One elder, taller and more luminous than the others, spoke. We have observed many beings, but humans are exceptional. If Lyra's words are true, he may indeed be our key to survival. Alex felt a wave of pressure. He was just an explorer, not a hero. Yet as he looked at Lyra, at the council, and at the city glowing with energy, he realized something important. He had qualities no one else had expected. He had courage, creativity, and the ability to act with empathy. Perhaps that truly was enough. Lyra guided him to a chamber at the center of the capital, where the celestial beacon rested. It was a magnificent structure, tall and glowing, with crystal conduits spiraling around a core of pure energy. Alex could feel its power, almost like it pulsed in rhythm with his own heartbeat. The celestial beacon can repel the void entity, Lyra explained, but it is not enough to simply touch it. One must understand its flow, anticipate its responses, act with intuition and heart. That is why it requires a human. Alex studied the beacon. It seemed almost alive, responding to their presence, shimmering in complex patterns he could not fully comprehend. "I don't know if I can do this," he admitted quietly. Lyra placed her hand over his. "You can. I believe in you. My people believe in you. Trust yourself, Alex. That is what makes you the chosen one." Suddenly, a warning pulse ran through the city. Energy readings spiked. Lyra stiffened. "The void entity is near. It knows we are here." Alex felt fear, but also determination. He had survived trials, helped Lyra, and learned to trust himself. Now the stakes were higher, but he understood something crucial. He could rise to the challenge. Humans were not just fragile beings. They could act unpredictably, think creatively, and feel deeply. That combination, heart and mind, was rare in the universe. Lyra led him to the activation platform of the beacon. "Step forward," she instructed. "Focus on the flow. Let your mind see the paths. Let your heart guide your actions. You will know what to do." Alex approached cautiously. Energy swirled around him, bright and warm. He closed his eyes, letting the patterns flow through his mind. He imagined the beacon protecting the galaxy, repelling the void entity. He reached out with his hands, feeling the energy respond to his intentions. For a moment, everything felt overwhelming: the light, the energy, the responsibility. But then he remembered Lyra's words. Courage, creativity, empathy. That was his guide. He focused, moving carefully, adjusting the energy currents as he felt them, predicting how the beacon would respond. A hum filled the chamber. The beacon's energy aligned with his thoughts, flowing smoothly, responding to his guidance. Alex felt a thrill. He was doing it. He was connecting with the beacon in a way no machine alone could manage. Lyra watched, her eyes glowing brighter than ever. "See? This is why humans, your kind, are special. You can create solutions where others cannot. You are the chosen one." Alex smiled faintly, exhausted but determined. He understood now what she meant. Being the chosen one was not about being the strongest or the fastest. It was about using the qualities unique to humans: intuition, creativity, compassion, to act when others could not. The city's energy hummed in harmony with the beacon. The void entity was approaching, but for the first time, Alex felt ready. With Lyra by his side and the power of the celestial beacon at their command, he believed they could face the threat. Lyra looked at him one last time, her glowing eyes soft but fierce. "Soon, you will see the full danger. But remember this, Alex. Humans are special. You are not ordinary. The galaxy needs you." Alex nodded, feeling the weight and the honor of her words. He was a human, yes, but here, in this alien city, facing a threat beyond imagination, he was also something more. He was the chosen one. And for the first time, he understood. The adventure was only beginning, and the universe was about to test him in ways he could never have imagined. Alex and Lyra stood at the edge of the Zarathian capital, looking out at the vast expanse of glowing terrain stretching before them. The celestial beacon lay on the other side of the crystal wastes, a dangerous region filled with shifting energy, currents, floating rocks, and unpredictable storms. The journey would test them, but it was necessary. "Are you ready?" Lyra asked, her voice calm but steady. Her wings glimmered in the soft alien light, still recovering but strong enough for flight if needed. Alex took a deep breath. "As ready as I'll ever be. Let's do this." They began walking, the path ahead twisting through towering crystal formations that hummed with energy. Each step needed caution. The crystals could release sudden bursts of power that knocked explorers off balance. Alex led the way, carefully scanning for danger. The first challenge came quickly. A sudden tremor ran through the ground and a cluster of floating crystals shifted, forming a barrier across their path. Alex studied the patterns and realized that the crystals responded to sound and movement. With gentle, precise steps and controlled hand movements, he guided them aside, creating a safe passage. Lyra's eyes glowed brighter as she watched. "Your mind, it sees possibilities even where others see obstacles. That is human strength." They continued, moving through the glowing wastelands. Strange creatures, some shaped like ribbons of light, others like floating orbs, drifted around them. Most were harmless, but Alex and Lyra knew that misjudging one could be dangerous. At one point, they encountered an energy storm, lightning-like. Currents arced through the air, cracking against crystal formations. Alex ducked behind a crystal tower, his heart pounding. "We need to time our movement with the energy flow," he said. He watched the patterns carefully, counting the pulses. "Follow my lead," he instructed. When the next gap opened, they sprinted across the open ground, dodging arcs of energy. Lyra's wings flared slightly to help balance, and together, they reached the other side safely. "Impressive," Lyra said, her voice tinged with admiration. "You are learning quickly. Your human mind adapts, and that is rare among the stars." Hours passed. They rested only briefly, using the glowing crystals as shields. Alex marveled at the beauty of the wasteland, the way the light refracted across every surface. But he never let his awe distract him from the journey. The celestial beacon and the threat of the void entity demanded focus. As night fell, the terrain changed. The energy rivers that had guided them disappeared, replaced by jagged cliffs and floating rock formations suspended in midair. Crossing them required both skill and trust. Lyra looked at Alex. "This part is difficult. Many have failed here. But you can succeed. Trust your instincts, and trust me." Alex nodded. He extended his hands carefully, gripping floating rocks, using Lyra's guidance to leap across gaps. The rocks shifted slightly, but his balance and quick thinking allowed them to progress. At one point, a rock began to tilt dangerously, and Alex shifted his weight instinctively, stabilizing it for both of them. "You saved us," Lyra whispered. "That was human creativity, your ability to act in the moment. It will save the galaxy someday." The bond between them grew stronger with every challenge. Alex was no longer simply an explorer. He was a partner, trusted and respected by Lyra, and she, despite being a queen, showed vulnerability and trust that inspired him. Suddenly, a deep rumble shook the ground. Alex and Lyra looked up to see a formation of void sentinels, shapes of dark energy sent by the void entity, approaching. They were fast, moving unpredictably, and their presence made the air itself feel heavy. Alex's heart raced. "We need to find a safe path through those rocks," he said quickly. He studied the formations and realized that by timing their movements with the sentinels' patterns, they could evade detection. Lyra's wings glowed as she nodded. "Do it, human." They moved carefully, Alex taking the lead, guiding Lyra across floating rocks, weaving through the gaps. The sentinels passed mere meters away, their dark forms looming. Alex's pulse thumped in his ears, but he stayed, focused. With one final leap, they reached a plateau beyond the sentinel's path. Both breathed heavily, but they were safe. For now. Lyra looked at him, her glowing eyes warm. "Your courage," Your focus, it is what saves us. You are not only brave, you are exceptional. Alex smiled faintly, though he was still catching his breath. I couldn't do it without you, Lyra. You guide me, and I follow. Together we can do this. Lyra nodded. Yes, together. That is what humans often forget. Strength alone is not enough. Cooperation, trust, understanding, these are as important as courage. You understand it naturally. The next part of their journey took them through a glowing canyon, where the walls pulsed with light and energy. The path was narrow, and any misstep could send them tumbling into the canyon's depths. Alex led carefully, testing each step before placing his weight. Lyra stayed close, whispering guidance when needed. Halfway through, a portion of the canyon wall shifted, blocking their path with a jagged crystal formation. Alex studied it, noticing small cracks and energy pulses running through the crystal. I can break it, but carefully. We don't want to trigger a collapse. He used a portable energy tool to create small fractures along the weak points. Slowly, carefully, the wall shifted enough to allow them to pass. Lyra watched silently, impressed by his patience and ingenuity. You do not rush. You do not panic. You think and act. That is why you are chosen, she said softly. Finally, after what felt like days, they reached the final plateau before the celestial beacon. From here, Alex could see the beacon in the distance, glowing with immense power atop a crystalline spire. The landscape between them was treacherous, floating energy fields, jagged crystals, and shifting ground, but Alex felt ready. Lyra's wings shimmered as she stood beside him. The last leg is the hardest. But you, human, you have shown creativity, courage, and heart. Trust yourself. Trust us. You will succeed. Alex took a deep breath. The Void Sentinels were no longer visible, but he knew the Void entity's presence was near. He felt a thrill of fear but also determination. He had faced impossible challenges, survived trials, and learned to trust himself. This, reaching the celestial beacon, was the ultimate test. Together, they stepped forward, ready to cross the final treacherous fields. Alex knew that every skill he had used, every lesson he had learned from Lyra would matter here, and for the first time, he truly believed. The journey, the challenges, and the bond he shared with Lyra were preparing him for something much larger than himself. The celestial beacon awaited. The galaxy's fate rested not only on alien technology, but on a human heart, Alex's. And he was ready to rise to the challenge. Alex and Lyra stood at the edge of the final plateau. Before them, the celestial beacon rose like a tower of light, its crystalline structure glowing with energy that seemed to pulse in rhythm with the universe itself. Between them and the beacon lay a field of floating energy currents shifting rocks and streams of light. Alex's heart pounded, not with fear, but with anticipation. This is it, Lyra whispered. The last step. Once you reach the beacon, you must synchronize with it. Only then will the void entity be stopped. Alex looked at the glowing structure, feeling both the weight of responsibility and a deep sense of purpose. He thought of the journey, the trials, the dangerous terrain, the bond he shared with Lyra, and realized that everything had led to this moment. Humans, fragile as they seemed, had something unique: courage, creativity, and the ability to act with heart. He stepped forward cautiously, guided by Lyra's wings and steady presence. The floating energy current shifted under his feet, but he moved with focus, timing each step carefully. Lyra's hand rested on his shoulder for balance, and together they navigated the treacherous field. Suddenly, a ripple of darkness appeared on the horizon. The void entity had arrived. Its presence was immense, a shadowy form stretching across space with tendrils of energy that pulsed like black lightning. Alex's chest tightened, but he did not falter. He remembered Lyra's words. Courage and creativity were his strengths, and empathy would guide him. "Alex," Lyra said softly, "do not let fear control you. Trust yourself. Trust the human mind and heart." Alex nodded and took a deep breath. He could feel the beacon's energy responding to his presence. It pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat, and he realized that this was not just technology, it was alive, interacting with those who approached it with intention. He reached the base of the beacon. Strange symbols glowed on its surface, shifting like liquid light. Alex studied them, noticing subtle patterns. It was a puzzle, but not one solved by strength alone. He used his creativity, thinking in ways the Zerathians could not. He combined logic with intuition, moving his hands in fluid motions, tracing paths in the glowing energy. The beacon hummed, responding to his actions. Energy flowed around him, warm and powerful. Alex felt a connection not only to the machine, but to the galaxy itself. He understood that this was more than activating a device. It was a collaboration between human creativity and Zerathian technology. The void entity's tendrils surged closer, probing the beacon, seeking to overwhelm. Alex focused harder. He envisioned protection, light flowing outward to repel the darkness. He adjusted the energy currents, anticipating the entity's movements. His human mind, unpredictable and adaptable, saw possibilities that even the advanced Zerathians had overlooked. Lyra hovered close, her wings shimmering. "Yes, that is it. Alex, your mind, your heart, your courage. It is working." Energy cascaded from the beacon, forming a dome of radiant light. The void entity struck, its dark tendrils lashing at the barrier, but the beacon's energy responded instantly, guided by Alex's intuition. The shadow faltered, then recoiled, unable to penetrate the human-guided defense. Alex felt exhaustion wash over him, but he did not stop. Every pulse of light, every shift in energy required focus. Yet he noticed something remarkable. He was not alone. Lyra, the Zerathian energy around the beacon, and even the subtle currents of the planet itself worked with him. It was a collaboration, a harmony of human heart, alien wisdom, and cosmic energy. Slowly, the void entity began to weaken. Its massive form shimmered and trembled as the beacon's light pushed it back. Alex could feel the connection between the beacon and himself strengthening. He realized the truth. The Chosen One was not only a protector but a bridge between worlds, combining human qualities with alien knowledge to achieve what no one alone could. Finally, with a deep breath, Alex centered himself, focusing all his energy on the beacon. Light surged outward in a wave that stretched across the galaxy, a radiant pulse that reached distant stars, stabilizing entire systems threatened by the void entity. The dark tendrils shattered, dissolving into harmless sparks of energy, and the massive form of the entity receded, vanishing into the void. Alex collapsed to his knees, breathing heavily. The beacon's glow softened, its energy settling into a steady rhythm. Lyra landed beside him, her wings wrapping gently around him, in a gesture of warmth and admiration. "You did it," she whispered, her eyes shining. "You humans are truly remarkable. You are the Chosen One." Alex smiled, exhausted but elated. "We did it. Together. I couldn't have done it without you, Lyra." She shook her head softly. "No, it was your courage, your mind, your heart. You saw what others could not. That is why humans are special. Your kind has something even the most advanced beings cannot replicate. That is why you succeeded." The Zerathian Council appeared at the edge of the beacon's plateau, their glowing forms reflecting admiration and gratitude. "You have saved the galaxy," one elder said, "not through power alone, but through wisdom, empathy, and creativity. Humanity is worthy of respect and trust among the stars." Alex felt a deep sense of pride, not for himself alone, but for humanity. Humans were often underestimated, seen as small and fragile. Yet here, he had proved that their qualities, the ability to think differently, act bravely, and care deeply, could change the course of the universe. Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder. Remember this, Alex. You, and your people, have potential beyond imagination. The galaxy will need humans again, and when it does, you will be ready. Alex looked at the glowing beacon, then at Lyra, and then at the stars stretching infinitely above them. He realized the truth of her words. The adventure had begun with a simple act of courage, helping a wounded alien queen, but it had grown into something vast, something that showed the universe the true power of humanity. I understand now, Alex said quietly. Being the chosen one, it's not about being the strongest. It's about heart, mind, and courage, and all together. Lyra smiled, her glow soft and comforting. Yes, and you have them all, Alex. That is why you are the chosen one. As the twin suns rose over the crystalline landscape, casting light across the plateau, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. Humanity's place in the galaxy was no longer unknown. They were special, not because of power, but because of qualities that no machine or advanced race could replicate. And for the first time, Alex truly believed in the promise Lyra had whispered when they first met. That he, a simple human, could rise to challenges that no one else could, shaping the future of worlds and the stars beyond. The celestial beacon pulsed steadily, a symbol of hope, unity, and the extraordinary potential of humans in a vast and wondrous galaxy. Alex looked to Lyra, and together they watched as the horizon glimmered with endless possibilities, knowing that their bond and humanity's courage would shine across the stars forever.